Attack on Titan Season 4 Episode 10. Historia's pregnant? No wonder Eren fled to Marley. So what's up guys, Foxen here. Weekly Attack on Titan manga comparison time. Did you feel anything missing like I did? After taking a deep look, no surprise, there's so much red. But is it really another Episode 3 situation? So go ahead and colossal smash that like and subscribe. YouTube also likes it when you ring the bell. And a special thanks to Devil Bug for sponsoring. I know you love anime, so you'll get a kick out of this. You got hand-drawn action battles. I love how stylized these are. You got over 30 cute characters, each with their own skill effects, character skills, and their own backstory lore. Want to customize your guys? You got it. Change things up with the character die system. There's over 100 pieces of equipment, upgrades, and abilities for your team. If you are looking for online buddies, you can form a party with others online to go on your own fantasy adventure. Devil Bug does have various game modes, including the main story, Tower of Conquest, PvP where you could smash other parties, and the boss dungeons where you could raid strong monsters. So if you're interested like I am, give this a shot. The link below will get you pre-registered for iOS and Android. Just by being early, you'll get 10 times hero summon scrolls on day 1. As a bonus, after release, there'll be an unlock select summon, which will give you unlimited rolls until you get the hero you want for free. All of this already looks like a blast, so I'll be playing on day 1. This week you have episode 10 titled A Sound Argument, same title as chapter 108, and episode 69 overall. Well, time for Valentine's Day, Mappa. Kicking this off with Hanji annoying the caged up Attack Titan. Anime Hanji just kept on spamming fight over and over. Compare this to the manga. You had Hanji that emphasized Eren talking to his own reflection, that Eren was telling himself to fight and fight. Next up, the welcoming ceremony. Anime Yelena actually added a new time reference here, it being 1 year since Yelena and friends became allies to the Scouts. Funny how small Levi got so much attention this episode. Yes guys, he's always been fun-sized. You got a new anime shot of Granny Kiyomi on the deck. It just sucks that the anime skipped around half a page from them greeting Kiyomi. Kiyomi is the ambassador for Hizuru. She has influence over the nation's foreign affairs, which she has used to maintain strong historical ties with other nations. Currently, she's the head of her clan. For a fun Yelena skip. Hey Mikasa, doesn't Kiyomi look like your mother? So smooth, Mappa. Can't let Yelena get cancelled by Twitter now. Getting to the Apple App Store logo, Japan edition. You got it much smaller for the anime version. It actually is around the same size that Kiyomi had it on her kimono. And just to clarify, this is the symbol or clan from her mother's side. Despite it looking like an A, this is not at all related to the Ackerman. Levi is not related to them. Hell, Levi's not even Asian as far as we know. Then for Mikasa showing off her carnival stamp, it looks a little lighter now. And you totally know it came out of nowhere, it was definitely newly added for the anime. Since the Wit Studio era, Attack on Titan actually switched it up to this family design instead. I kinda wish they just switched it and kept it to that. You know, similar to Mikasa having a red scarf in the anime. That said, I will point out that scenes where Mikasa was clearly showing her arms or hands, they were actually covered in the manga version. Removed in the anime was Kiyomi mentioning Hizuru was an ally of the Eldian Empire. The anime instead switched it up, claiming that the clan son was the one that was on good terms with the royal blood family. For the actual flashback, the biggest difference, that overhead structure removed. You can now actually spot that App Store logo on the Japanese people's clothing and kimono. Notice the Eldian guys are wearing blue, which does match past Marley uniforms. Unfortunately, the colors for the Eldian side don't exactly match up with that melted statue, the one you saw from Eren's dream in Attack on Titan Season 1. Further cut for Kiyomi, she mentioned the heir being lost 100 years ago. Kiyomi was happy to meet Mikasa, who has Eastern blood. For an attention to detail, I love how you could hear Mikasa feeling unsettled about all of this. For Pixies, Mappa really did make him into Megamind. With Mikasa and Historia having their little bond, I do like how the anime delivered this. Manga Mikasa looks super annoyed at Historia. You could sense her being a second away from chucking her royal behind. I did notice the anime updated the guys here with the logo. Promotion to the garrison. Getting to the Beast Titan's secret meeting, 4 pages skipped. I'm going to talk about this towards the end of the video. I suspect the anime will try to bundle all the Zeke stuff together in this important Zeke flashback in a few episodes. Sticking with the anime territory, the stolen 3D maneuver gear. It was in both, but I found it stranger how in the anime, Kiyomi seemed to be aware of it. Perhaps it was Kiyomi being aware of this iceberg stone. Naturally, the 3D maneuver gear has the updated design from Season 1, instead of looking like a barrel. The manga actually gave you a view of the iceberg stone. Aw, I wanted to see the color. for almost a page cut. Apparently there had been rumors about this Iceberg Stone stuff. Zeke claimed that the Titan King had dug a hole on Paradise Island. Using the Titan powers, certain stones were stockpiled. And let me just mention, this feels like a clear retcon. Zeke informed Kiyomi how people on the island had no idea about the true value of this resource, but Kiyomi's nation does know. This would bring Hizuru and Paradise Island together. Just to quickly clarify, in Attack on Titan Season 3, you did see the royal family's Titan Cave. At the time, the brightness was emphasized, possibly this being special Titan crystal created by the founding Titan. After taking down Ra, the special glowing stones were distributed to the people, which did benefit them at night. For example, even the Survey Corps used the light so they could have operations at nighttime. Anyway, back to Kiyomi, her licky lick. I'm glad the anime changed this up from her drooling on herself. As for the 3 points, the second one actually had a page of info skipped. Kiyomi explained how introducing the latest weapons to the island was not the difficult part. Establishing a modern-day army required creating a firm base of national power, which included education, the economy, diplomacy. Unfortunately, the people on the island were about 100 years behind the rest of the world. Thankfully, with the help of Kiyomi's nation, they could get caught up in around 50 years. They had a plan having the founding Titan and a royal blood Titan at the same time. You saw Hanji being in deep thought over this. Manga Hanji wondered whether it would truly be over in only 50 years. She was worried about future Titan holders potentially always being at risk at being assassinated. In general, Hanji did voice more disagreement to the whole plan. Manga Hanji expressed how it would be parent to child just like the Reyes family. The anime did update the Titan scene with them being in the past Crystal Cave. You do have to give props to the anime showing Eren's anger to this entire thing much more. He was strictly against siding with Zeke. Aw, Historia getting the feels. Another thing the anime elevated. He originally did have a final remark from Kiyomi for the scene that got skipped. She told them they wouldn't need to rush. In the meantime, she would continue to meditate this process between them and Zeke. Anyway, back to Hanji in present day. Skipped in the anime was her line saying that they hadn't found another way yet. More important was that Zeke's time was almost up. Marley had actually moved forward their plans to attack the island. It was happening much sooner than expected. Hanji, who could you thank for that? Then, for Eren raging at Hanji, new update for the anime, some Titan light show added. So this now confirms he was about to go Titan mode and bring down another building. Switching over to Queen Historia, not looking too happy, are we? With the farmer dude and her, does Historia look a little plumper? A little munchkin may be coming soon. For the mid-info card, the anime actually included new information for Hizuru. Things like them being good at developing weapons, them working on aircraft. Notice the detail about them being an ally to Eldia got moved here. This also mentioned Hizuru having a bunch of engineers, and it brought up them being a small country with a unique culture. Switching over to the Marley guys, the anime cut out the first 2 pages. These guys cheered that they caught Yelena's group. With Pixies in charge, there shouldn't be any issues. Nayo clearly didn't like jailing the volunteers since they had done so much for them. For the drunk fella, he really loves the wine. Thankfully, the Marley guys had given them so much of it. Still, all of them had to be locked up due to Zeke. I really wish they left in this next part. They were generally concerned what Zeke and Eren would do. Both of them together could alter the memories with the founding Titan ability. Despite locking up Yelena's group, they still had no idea how things would turn out. Who knew what a man so close to dying like Zeke would do in his final moments? Combine this with Eren's mind-altering abilities. Then for the Historia topic, the anime skipped over how this local man she had fun with wasn't someone that she married. In the anime, they did bring back those kiss in Historia's flashback. The anime previously cut this out from the Uprising arc. And finally got this shot of Queen Historia looking for some booty. Then, almost a page skipped, Mr. Drunk wondered why Historia was acting so selfishly. Technically, she was the monarch of this nation. Nayo argued that Historia was his forced puppet onto the throne that helped them seize power. They had already burdened her with this awful fate, so they had no right to complain about who she banged. The drunk dude here was awfully suspicious about the timing. Someone must have informed Historia about their rush plan to feed her to Zeke as soon as possible. At this point, the anime removed this flashback the manga included. It showed this hooded figure that was there too. This is when Historia approached Mr. Farmer. Next half a page skipped. These guys argued Historia was a soldier. She wouldn't be scared of inheriting the Beast Titan. Nayo even suggested that Historia might have wanted Zeke to live out the rest of his life. The wine lover deeply suspected Yelena, that she must have wanted Zeke to live longer. What could they be planning? For the waiter dude, the anime actually gave him a name here. Hello, Grays. Next up, the flashback. Unfortunately, the anime dropped the ball with the date here. This railroad flashback happened a year ago. I love the anime showing Potato Girl Sasha binging the water in the background. The anime even added Armin chasing after her. A bit later, the empty barrel. Sorry, Armin. Even better, Sasha looking happy with the defeated Colossal Titan on the ground. Fricking yes! Confirmed here was something I mentioned in my Ackerman theory video. It wasn't wood, you actually have Mikasa casually carrying all this steel. Remind me again why we need Titans when you got her around? Right here, the anime skipped a panel of info. Coney brought up how Eldians potentially have human rights too. That, combined with the resources on the island, should help. If they could get friendly with other nations, using the rumbling could be avoided. For Anime Levi, he was definitely pissed off at their growth, especially at Coney. As for Hanji delivering the bad news, the anime skipped over how there are organizations who want to protect Eldian human rights, but unfortunately the world considers them weirdos, so no one takes them seriously. With Eren asking if they had no other choice, you did have Levi confirming it. Skipped over for him was how Hizuru had entered into this military alliance with them, which was backed by the rumbling. For some skipped Armin stuff, Armin was in disbelief that the world had put them in this position. They were being pushed to repeat similar evil acts that their ancestors had committed 100 years ago. For the hopeful Hanji, skipped right here was how they couldn't keep on relying on Kiyomi to go around to other countries for them. Switching over to the Friendship Express, bits removed all around. The guys did think there was meaning traveling to other nations outside of the island. Naturally, they would ask Kiyomi or Yelena for some help. Removed for Jean was him interested in some Marley booze. No wine for you. For some world info removed, Armin was thankful how Eldian was a common language, which meant communication wasn't going to be an issue in other countries. They did, however, have to be careful with their accent, and also when reading. You can notice Isayama using the 3-panel layout for the trio here. It really shows how a year ago they were still on the same page. Then, for Eren bringing down the mood, a detail skipped here was how Zeke had less than 2 years left. For the Ackerman topic, the discussion got shortened. They brought up how Mikasa is half Asian, but they weren't sure whether Mikasa could actually even become a Titan. As for the friendship talk, aw, Eren does care. You even got Eren blushing like a Japanese schoolgirl. And even a better moment for Attack on Titan shippers. They really did make Eren look girlish here, or more like present-day Mikasa. In the anime, you do have a new scene of Mikasa looking into the sun. I do like them using this as a transition. Next up, the Eren talk. Armin brought up how the higher-ups must have been plotting to lock up the volunteers while they were busy at Marley. Currently, they were under house arrest. For Coney glaring at Mikasa over protecting Eren, he really did give you this death look in the manga. Then for Armin here, almost 2 pages removed for him. Before Armin brought up the Titan syringe option, Armin recalled the Season 2 event, how it was Eren that commanded those Titans to attack, not the Royal Blood Titan Dina, which meant the Royal Blood Titan was the key, but they didn't give the order. Likewise for Zeke and Eren, it would be Eren who decides the outcome. Whatever Zeke is planning won't happen unless Eren wants it to. I do think the anime made Armin seem worse by removing this last part. Mikasa screamed how Eren still had time left. Armin agreed, which was why he wanted to talk to Eren and prove his true motives, that Eren is on their side. Switching to Zeke camping out, the anime added that clear full moon shot. I wonder what the monkey dude is rating. Alright, so how do you like that? How do you feel about the episode? Do you think too much was cut? Especially if you're anime only. For the chapters that episode 10 covered, it was parts from chapter 107 and 108, roughly 1.5 chapters, although you just found out how much was skipped over. Rough super estimate, around 14 pages of dialogue removed, which is about a third of a chapter. That's not even including the Zeke reveal. You could make an argument like half of that wasn't needed, but even then that still is a decent chunk. Honestly, how do you take this? Clearly the Zeke scene will be moved around, but the other details? Without it, you're losing context that better helps you understand what's going on. On the flip side, for the anime, you do have to find a balance without making it feel like an info dump. I've already seen so many anime people complaining about no action, or supposedly this episode being boring. Although I do wonder why you're watching if you don't find this interesting or just want action. There's other anime that'll give you that. You have Boruto's Dad, Demon Slayer, or My Hero Academia that are calling. I do feel like you could still get to the same place if you're anime only, but it does take work on your part. Thankfully, it does help watching videos like this. As always, some of the stuff may come back, but let's be real, a good chunk won't. Before Zeke's secret, why not give Devilbug a try? If you're interested, be sure to pre-register below. No worries if you don't play later. Simply pre-registering does help to pay the bills and my editor. Honestly, I'm so far behind with him being unavailable this week. Getting to the major Zeke reveal that got removed this episode, likely is going to appear later. You've been warned. Zeke actually revealed his royal blood heritage to Kiyomi. He confirmed he kept it hidden from the other warriors. Zeke claimed he was always loyal to his father's dream, that he is and always has been a true Eldian restorationist. In case you're wondering why Zeke sold out his papa and mama, when Zeke was 7, he accidentally overheard the Marley guys talking. Turns out the government was closing in on his parents' little dance group, which is why young Zeke realized his parents and grandparents would soon be caught and sentenced to become Titans. This is why Zeke backstabbed them. He always felt his parents and the group was way too naive. Zeke realized Eldia would never be restored by this group, so he took the opportunity. He turned in his parents, and then rose through the Marley ranks. This meant Zeke kept on killing Eldians that he was meant to be saving. He claims he did it for the long-term goal of reclaiming the Founding Titan. Having it would mean restoring Eldia. Zeke then brought up his royal blood, how Marley was ignorant of what would happen if a royal blood titan and the Founding Titan came in contact. Zeke then switched the topic over to Kiyumi's nation and her missing clan member. Kiyumi claimed she didn't care about any of that if it meant Eldia would put the world in danger. She was clear that she would turn Zeke in over to Marley, depending on the outcome of this meeting. But anyway, leave your thoughts on the episode below or just say hi. 6 episodes to go. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell, YouTube loves that. Go ahead and check out the mess going on in the Promised Neverland anime. You got parts removed here and arcs removed over there. Check that out and I'll see you guys later.